Mindalia TV team. Welcome to Mindalia live streaming. Today we are being joined by Liliana Vela in this space, in this conversation in which we are going to be talking about how to be the best version of yourself, your better self. And before starting with her, we just want to remind you that Mindalia is a non-profit international organization and that you can collaborate with us by liking, sharing our content, subscribing to our channel, or following us in our different platforms. I'm not going to delay this any further because we have a pretty interesting conversation to be having with Liliana. Liliana, welcome to Mindalia. This time in English. You've been with us several times in Spanish. We wanted to bring you to our English platform as well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Very honored now to be in this amazing world of English speaking, and it's differently to talk in your natural language. And my patients that I have in English, they're always saying like, "Go for it, go and have conference in English," and I was like, "It's not the same, but it is. It is, and the soul is talking and." The awareness is out there to be reaching to as many people, and hopefully we can share a little bit of wisdom or helpful tools for reaching the life that everybody wants.
That's exactly what we want to do. That is exactly why we dare to go crossover language and bring ideas in, because that's what we want. We just want this knowledge that we are sharing on a daily basis to reach as much people as possible. So yeah, let's just communicate and bring a little bit of what you have. Liliana, you proposed an idea. Let me fix my microphone here because it's a little bit crazy. You proposed an idea about being your better self, the very best version of yourself. And what's that? How do I know, first, where am I starting from? And what is there a limit to be the best version of myself? Or is that something that, keeps increasing? There's always room for improvement on that?
I believe so, yes. All my branding is around your best self. It's, that time that you come into awareness that exactly those questions. How do you do that? And what are the steps? What is doing those people that apparently they have it all and they have this dream life, they have everything they want? How do they do that? Is that there out there for all of them or all of us, or is that just for a certain amount of people? What is the difference between those people and we as regular people? And I believe that there's so many rich in every single one of us, and trying to reach for it, trying to believe that first of all there's always more. It doesn't matter where you are standing in life, there's always another level, there's always another way to do it better or more fulfillment, to find more fulfillment in what you do it more from the heart, do it more from a peace, not reaching for more money and then sacrifice your kids or your family or your even your peace of state of mind. You're going crazy towards this unreachable life that you are apparently being sold by media, by other people. And I believe it's a especially unique journey. Your journey, my steps into my best self. It's just an unique and unrepeatable steps into what I know that it's my best self.
I love that you bring that up, the fact of the journey being an individual path. That maybe, yeah, my journey may look similar to yours, and then I look up to you because you're doing something that I find that I can admire, but probably something helpful is identifying what is my journey, the journey that I came here to walk. How do I tell myself apart from the crowd? How do I find that path that has been made specifically from me? How can I find it?
That's a very interesting question. And I remember this amazing teacher that we had, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he was telling this story, and this kind of funny, that he used humor in everything. one of his presentation. I love every one of his videos nowadays that he's already passed. And he was trying to explain exactly this. And he was trying to explain it with this story that he was in his house and he lost his keys, his car keys. So he started looking in the part of the house which it was outside because it was more light in there. The inside of the house was like kind of dark. So he was looking for the house outside of the house. And then a neighbor came by and he's like, "Hey, Wayne, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I lost my keys." "Oh, it's not a problem. Let me help you out trying to find the keys." So they start going everywhere. And then the neighbor asked him, "Where do you lose your keys?" And he said, "Well, inside the house." And he said, "Why are you looking for your kids outside the house? You lost them inside the house. It's more light." What he mean like that? It's like usually what we see outside of ourselves, it's more visually uh, available. Is to look in your path and not to see within. So because within usually it's a place that we don't want to go. We don't think there's any answers within ourselves because we don't trust ourselves. We think everything is outside. When the weather, when the country, when the family, when everything else it's changed, then I'm going to be happy. Then it's going to be my turn. Then I'm going to be ready. But usually we don't look in the only place that everything is in, which is within. But when you hear that, you go like, "Wait, what?" How do you connect with that place that it's empty pretty much because you don't go there, or it's not visited as much? It's in silence, and we are very anxious in silence. We don't know what to do, and we get like very anxious, and we are like we're missing out. But really, we're just connected in the silence, in the dark, in the look within. How are you feeling? I try to recommend all my patients to sometime during the day, just once or twice or as many times as you need, connect with yourself, touch your heart, and hear that. So that way you will know that everything's taken care for you. Life is good. You are okay because sometimes you get, the feeling, Mirna, that you go like, like this morning, like, "Oh my god, I couldn't find my phone." I was like, "Oh my god, I have so many things to do." At the moment that I stopped everything that I was doing and I took just a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes to
Slow
connect.
down.
Slow down, exactly. Just and then you can see, because on this team of the daily basis, we all have so many things, so many stimulus. Everybody's grabbing for our attention, and you get hooked, like in this, in that, and that, and you never stop and slow down and really hear yourself. And there is where all the answers, there is where all the path, the unraveling of the guidance that we all have inside.
You get hooked. You are saying something that I find very interesting because it's so easy to get hooked on listening to someone else's opinion, to find in value in what other people has to say, to find in our appreciation towards ourselves based on the feedback we are getting from other people. uh the beginning of that race towards self-appreciation, towards self-observation, how can we start doing that? In Because we already established, yes, we are being bombarded with information about how we are supposed to look physically, visually, how we are supposed to feel, if it's okay to feel like this, if it's okay to feel like that. So how do I, without isolating myself and without being self-centered, how, from your perspective, can I go back to reconnect with that source of self-identification? Okay, I'm gonna find, if I'm gonna be the best me, who's me? How do I go back to that?
And that's the starting point of actually the starting point of the book. One of my books is get to know yourself. because since we just look more often to every single external thing and we don't connect with us, it's like, oh, she's doing that, I should be doing that. Why am I not doing as much as her, or as successful as her? There's always going to be a focus in people that are going ahead of you in the path, and they have more success or more beauty or more, but there are people behind you and they're going to be less successful, they less uh, forward in their goals or their reach to whatever they're looking for. What it's very important to remember is like, this is my movie, this is my movie, and I'm the star in my movie. So nobody knows better my path than me. And I tell this to my patients every single time. I'm the expert in a lot of things, in everything that I've studied. I'm never going to be the expert in your life. You're the expert. I recommend things, but you are the one that, like, really listening. I don't think that's for me. Or yes, you know what? That's a very good recommendation. I will follow. But start to listen to yourself. It's like when they ask you, how do I learn to ride a bike? Well, riding a bike. How do you start listening to yourself? Well, really take a moment to listen of what you want, because especially in when you're battling in making choices, and you start calling everybody, hey, what do you think about, should I get the job, should I not get, and everybody's going to be responding in their movie. Well, my husband did that, my boss did. Yes, yours, that's not my path, that's not. And especially in this situation, Mirna, that we are worldwide going a little crazy in this situation, like, oh my goodness, how can you be so not conscious or not taking care of yourself? How you dare to travel in these times? Like, everybody's going to be judging others,
From their own movie.
exactly, from their own movie. And you said, like, I don't get sick. Like, why would I, like, because you understand a little further or a little more connected way, that, yeah, that's not for me. Like, okay, this is for me, this is not for me. But taking very clear, this is my movie, I'm the superstar in my movie, and everything in my movie has to be accordingly, my beliefs, my intentions, my level of awareness, because maybe I'm not there for reaching for thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay. I'm going there, but I have to know my pace, not because other people are like way ahead of my game. What I feel is my game, I'm going to be comparing myself. So
You
yeah, look, like, this is my movie.
You remind me of the moment in which when you're pregnant, you're about to have a child, and everyone wants to give opinions on how you're gonna name your baby. And they say, I'm gonna name her Maria. Maria, no. Maria, no. Well, I'm gonna name him Rachel. No, Rachel, no. It's like your life is your baby. Everyone is gonna wanna give you opinions. And yes, take them kindly, the ones that fit your personality in, but some others, why are we so addicted to that? Something else that I was thinking as I was listening to you is about the difference between the life around us when we are trying to raise somebody else's race, and how life behaves around us when we have identified your personal race. I want you to tell me a little bit about it, the difference between one model and the other model.
Extend a little bit further the question.
The My question is about the difference when you are living the life that has been designed by someone else, by the media, by your parents, by your teachers. Life around you behaves in a certain way because you're probably running someone else's race. You're probably doing things that were not designed for your intelligence, for your structure, your, you know, not even your mental or your emotional structure. But once you identify what's the race that you should be running, or the path you should be walking, because why run, right? Some people run, some people walk. What's the difference? How is the life of those two people that, you know?
Yes, I believe, in my opinion, you have in an inside GPS. You have that inner connection with your soul, and you can feel fulfillment in a certain path, but you can feel emptiness in another path. That's how you know. I hear in the back of my mind the song in one of the Cinderella's movie. That's how you know. Uh,
That's a
that
great movie.
I love it. That's how you know that this is for me. I'm going in the right path. This is me being connected with my soul. Be be mean into what I feel, not what I think, because this is all learned, and we really have to unlearn because this is all messed up. This is not coming from my inner wisdom. That's what I meant. Like, this is learn, and of course I learn whatever I know from the people that they are trying to, like, figure it out how to do things, the grown-ups when I was growing up. So this is all learn, and we have to unlearn so we can follow our own path. There's no race. You're never behind where you're supposed to be. You never get it done, and you never get it wrong, because you're always expanding. You're always growing. And when you feel this is, I'm going to be happy until I reach some goal, and then you get there just to follow another goal, and just to set another path, just to set another steps into another thing that I think is going to be giving me fulfillment or happiness. The key here is not to wait until that it's done. Just enjoy the process, because every process has a purpose. And when I reach into, oh, I'm going to be happy until I am this age, or until I'm married, until I have a boyfriend, until I don't have a boyfriend, until I get whatever, no, until I'm divorced, until I get married. Like, there's always this mental thing that I'm not there yet. But if we can just find fulfillment in the daily basis, in the I'm going craziness, in the I have everything figured out, and now I'm not, and now I do. There's not like a I got it all. There's nothing like that. And that's like something that somebody else has taught us, that once you have the career, the family, the kids, the this, then you're going to go crazy because there's so much in your plate and you're not ready for that. So I believe when you're not going into your own race or your own path, you feel empty. You feel not in the right place. You always are like mad, like angry with life, because it's supposed to be as happy as the people in Facebook or the people in your social media, that you look into the authors, and you look until the people that apparently they have it all, and then you figure out that, hey, they commit suicide. How come they have it all? Because they were not into their soul path. You know what I'm saying? Their heart desires. They were just, fulfilling somebody else's, like you said, somebody else's path, or they should be, right? We all have this should be. That shouldn't be like that. What I know is that it shouldn't be that hard. That's the only thing. It should be like more at ease, more like enjoying the ups and the downs. And it's always okay to be feeling what you're feeling. Remember that those time that the first time that man went into the moon, they step into the moon, and then they did a lot of research, because once you reach that high, what's going to be the next level, right? So they had a lot of information on how human mind is always reaching for growth, you know. And when you have gone into what men thought capable and beyond, what's next, right? So we have to have a balance in between reaching for more and be content with what you have right now, and stretching yourself and not get lost in the process. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if
Yes, I actually love the fact that you're saying that it's balance, like how to be happy with what I have and still have the drive for growth. I really like it. And there is something I want to rescue from what you said before, and it's you were talking about the bad days. And I think I have a passion for exploring how the bad days of the people that sit here with me are. Because it's very normal that we think that since someone has achieved some sort of consciousness and some sort of balance and well-being, those days don't exist. And I want to hear about the bad days. I want to hear about how do you handle that day in which your heart is so heavy that you just don't want to leave your bed, for example. What do you do when that happens?
like this morning, not go like wait. I remember those that
We don't have to go that far.
have to go that far. No, 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 because it's a human condition. You know, like it's a human design that we have into maybe you had a bad night or you have a bad dream or whatever is it. I believe the what works for me is not abandon yourself or like just start judging yourself like, oh my God, you shouldn't be feeling that. You're a psychologist, you have everything figured out. Don't you teach this to people? Like, stop judging yourself and stop judging what you feel. It's always fine to feel what you feel. So acceptance, it will be the first step, that it's okay. Yes, I am very open in the battles that I'm going through with the family, with my husband, with the kids, with adolescents, with my job, with everything, because trying to reach into the not being normal or not being human, it's very lonely, you know. It's very um not true to yourself. So it's okay to have those days. Like, don't judge, stop judging. Like, it's not judge, stop judging yourself and stop frighten yourself, you know. Oh my God, maybe I don't know as much as I should have known, or maybe I'm not as good as I tell myself to you know, all these battles in your head. Like, stop, it's just a bad day, it's not a bad life you have,
I
right?
think you are hitting a very good point there about it is lonely. And it reminds me that, whenever I normally know how to handle certain things, but those times in which I have no idea how to handle, in which my heart is heavy, in which I don't feel as good as I want to feel, that it gives me the effect of grounding. It brings me back. It makes me develop empathy, that sometimes when you are in such a high cloud, you don't know how to relate any longer with people that are going through struggle. So that probably gives you also that opportunity for connection with other people that may not be going through the best episode of their lives, right?
And I think that particular point is very important, because for me it's people that know my friends and my family were like, oh my God, you should be so stressed out because you hear problems every single day, because that's what I do for a living. I'm a therapist, so I hear problems. I was like, no, you know what, there's no way I'm stressed over my work. I stress because of the housework, because of the kids, you know, every single thing around my personal life. But my job is, it's bringing solutions to every single problem they present to me. I can share, like, oh, of course, this could be another path, and this is another way, and you can change your perspective about this situation, and everything around it is going to be changing into the better. So it's just a training, to be aware. And I can see, well, it's kind of weird, but I can see my thoughts, going like, oh my God, you're such a fake person. You're having a bad day. You shouldn't be having that. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm human. It's fine. It's just something that I'm figuring it out. Like recently, I moved houses. This is my 11th house. So every move, my body goes into these changes, and sometimes I have weird pains, or I'm adjusting to, and I have to remind myself this is okay. There's nothing bad going on. This is not going to be forever. This is just one process of a lot of processes that you have to go through. And your body is adjusting, and your mind is adjusting, and everything in boxes, like packing things and stuff. And it's fine if you can enjoy. And I train myself at the best of my capabilities to relax, to see something, and like, there's some boxes unpacked over there, and they're fine. Putting myself first, not to be, like, dragging myself into exhaustion because the kitchen is not clean. No, 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 no. I mean, I love my clean space and everything, but I put myself first. And if I can do it, I willingly will do it. If I'm going to be dying in the process, there's no way. But it's after a lot of training,
To
honey.
soften the inner dialogue and talk to ourselves as if we were talking to someone we love, because it's kind of yeah, I love myself, but then I find myself talking to me in a very rude way that I probably wouldn't do that with a stranger in the street. Right?
That's bullying. And we bully ourselves all the time. And we're trained to be bullied because we are trained not to accept ourselves and to always feel not enough. We're trained in a very bad way to be that. So how can you blame yourself to be feeling not enough if we are trained since you're a little kid? If you say something about yourself like, I'm so pretty, your mom, your uncle, your aunt is gonna jump. Don't say that. No, 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 no. Let others say that about yourself. You don't say that about yourself. So we are trained in a very bad and harmful way not to talk good things about ourselves, not to. So where are you thinking you are going to have the tools if you are taught the opposite? You
Yes, those tools we're gonna have to file them ourselves, right? To build them ourselves. I wanted also to ask you from your perspective, from your experience, you're a therapist, you see people every day and you empower them as according to your books, to be the best version of themselves. Do we really come with a purpose? Are we designed to or to be more successful in one area than the other one? Like, do we come with talents that we should be using and sharing with other people, or everyone can become whatever they want?
Well, of course, there's free
Yes
will,
and yes.
but until you discover and you engage with your talents into a path, you're not going to be fulfilled. That's what thing that I know the most, and I see in therapy every single time. The most chaos you cause and the most lost you feel is because you're not using your talents, you're not embracing who you are.
I want to interrupt you really quick to make sure that I am understanding. So, yes, I can be whatever I want. I can be a shoemaker, I can be an architect, I can be whatever I put myself into, but that's probably not going to make me as happy as I would be if I was using my talents.
Well, you can use your talents in whatever you want. That's the thing. We don't came with a purpose, like a one thing to do. Like it's not a thing to do, it's a person to become. It's the awareness that you reach, is the meaningful that you get into. The It's not a destiny. Make sense? It's not something that you are going to go to. It's embrace your talents into your life. You know, like you can do different things. I've done so many jobs and I have my profession, which I love. And until, how do you know you are using your talents? First of all, you have energy. Like I can talk and I can teach for 10 hours a day and I feel like, it's not draining my energy. I can feel the connection and the excitement and the, like everything comes into very clear path when I'm doing this. I used to tell my mom, I don't feel that when I'm cleaning the bathroom. you know but yet I use, my knowledge. I put music because I love a clean bathroom. So I do things differently using my talents, which I'm very creative. I'm very uplifting. So I put music. I have everything handy. So I use my talents even for the things that I think is very mortal. I mean, it has nothing to do with the spiritual world. I mean, you do have to eat, you do have to take a bath, you do have to clean your bathroom or your kitchen. Sometimes you don't feel, oh my god, I should be whoa in my talent.
Chanting and folding laundry.
Exactly. The first time that I thought about writing a book, I name it in my head, trying to change the world while doing the laundry, because I was so frustrated because I felt constantly that I was wasting my talents. And then I understood, like, hey, this is my place. This is my family. This is my turn to be a mom. And I can do a lot of things very creatively, but it doesn't mean that I'm late. You're never late. The sensation that you're not using or you're not in the right place, it's a constant in our human life. So be aware of, there's not a destiny or a one thing, a one career that you have to accomplish. It's just using your talents, whatever they are. I mean, you can be um, very creative or very musically oriented or very good for communication. And wherever you are, actually, that's the last chapter of my book. It's like they teach us, pursue your passion and look for it, chase your passion and your passion and your passion, like your talents. And it's like, no, when you know who you are, your passion is seeking you. It's wanting to get connected with you, and you can use it all the time.
It's wonderful. I've heard something similar, like the things you've always dream of are dreaming about you as well.
Oh yeah,
So how
but
do you connect? It's super. The more I learn, the more I hear, the bigger the gap of my question, which is how do I bring it from here to here? How do I actually put that into practice? What does it take for someone to decide to move and activate all that knowledge and make it happen and actually go and change the world while doing laundry or while doing your dishes? What does it take for someone to wake up?
I guess when everything's going wrong, when you're very uncomfy, when you're sick and tired and not feeling enough, or you're not inside that's not the path. You know that there's more, and not reaching in outside of your comfort zone to stretch yourself into the unknown and trust yourself. Like, if you're going to be pushed into a corner and you have to jump, either you start to learn how to fly or somebody's going to be cutting you. That's like, I believe there's two things that you can work like very, very consciously into: your beliefs about life and your beliefs about yourself. Because if you don't trust those two and you feel like this is a very unfair world, this is a very bad world and somebody's going to be hurting you, that it's going to be hurting your progress. And if you feel like you're not enough, you're not going to be reaching into the unknown because oh my god, how what's going to happen if I mistake, I'm commit, how do you say that, cometo un error.
To make a mistake.
Mistake, exactly. What's going to be, I mean, maybe I lose something. So it's just stop hearing your thoughts that it's always gonna be telling you no, 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 no. You're going to be doing what? Excuse me? Of course not. You're not good enough. You're not ready. That's not for you. It's a mistake. Stop hearing this and connect with, and then you do it. 5 second rule of Mel, I forgot her last name. This TED talker that it's amazing. I love her. And she mentioned a 5 second rule that your mind is going to be having a 5 second rule. Like, oh my God, I wish I can write a book. And then it was like five, four, three, two, one. No, 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 no. Your mind is stopping you every single time. Like, don't you dare. Of course. No, 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 no. Don't do that. So get to know how are you wired and getting to know yourself as a part of
It's like
everything.
how to trick your mind into doing what you want to do, because that lady is going to try and stop you. 'Cause it's like I'm
Yes,
under the feeling that we are like, I'm not going to dance until I know all the steps. How are you going to know all the steps if you don't go out and dance? Right?
try. Trying and trusting. Two T's. Trying and trusting. Knowing, you know what has been the turning point for me is to own, because if you know something, it's not owning it. To own that there's no mistakes. There's not mistake. You're never in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's not such a thing as that in the universe. So what I do with my patients is start building credibility to get to know if I'm really capable of. So we start going through, the nature, how perfectly and balanced everything is. And animals, we start reaching into different things of animals, how cockroach, that they're awful. And they have this amazing skeleton or bodybuilding that they will resist, you know,
Nuclear bomb.
So you start reaching and building credibility so you can understand how powerful you are. Because otherwise, your mind is going to be telling you, no, you're tiny, you're just small, you're just this body. And this body is yours, but you're not your body. And your mind is yours, but you're not your mind. You're so much more. And you have to feel that to get a step into who knows, nobody is going to be guaranteeing that that's going to be good for you, but if you enjoy the process, even the process of not knowing, you got it covered because you find something good in everything that you're doing. You're not missing out anything because growing up, it's part of the fun of it, not being there. That's part of the great part of vacations, when you go into vacations, okay, the planning and the thinking and finding a place and reaching all the details, and that's the fun part, vacations, once you're in the place, it's so fast. If you're not aware and you enjoying the present time, and it's gone.
That's beautiful.
And then you want like, oh my god, it was so fast, what happened? You were not there, you were never present.
That's beautiful. Liliana, we have a question in this case. It's from Colombia. Daniela Salazar is making it via YouTube. And she's telling us, it has been very challenging for me to get back to track since I lost so much income in June. I feel sad many times. What can we say to Daniela? So how can we cheer her up?
Well, train your focus. I don't think Daniela needs a cheer team. She needs, like, what can I do? Change your focus, because when there's a lack of something, there's a purpose very, very clear in why are you leaving this. So change your purpose. Don't go into the why, go into the how can I turn this around. Your focus, your perspective about things in front of you, that's going to be crucial thing to turn this around. Focus on 1% of the things that are going good, even if it's a coffee in the morning, a shower, a clean towel. Like, connect with what is going good, not in the, oh my, I lost this. And the money's going to be there once your focus is laser point into the goodness of little tiny things in the day.
Well, Liliana, guess what? We have reached the end of our conversation. This was so fast, and it looks like time flies when you're having fun. Before we leave, what are your closing thoughts? We want to give you a minute for that.
I believe the first step to change, to improvement, is awareness. Make time for question everything. Why is this the only way to do this thing? Or why am I not there yet? How can I be better? Like, question everything. Don't believe anybody. Like, question yourself and connect. Have this inner time for yourself to connect, because there are all the answers inside of you. I believe that in the silent, in the going back to the basics, is the best way to keep going into your best self.
Thank you. We want to thank you and extend this gratitude to the people that have been with us today. And before leaving, of course, as always, we just want to remind you that Mindalia.com is an international nonprofit organization. You can collaborate with us by liking our content, by sharing this video with someone that you know that may benefit of what we've been talking today. You can leave us a positive comment. You can subscribe and follow us in our different platforms, because when you do that, you're helping us reach as much people as possible, and you are helping us make more spaces like the space we just had today with Liliana Vela. We have nothing else to say for now. And thank you again. We are saying goodbye until a new Mindalia live streaming. See you soon.